Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nairi, also known as Wedding Fashion Expert. This week we are talking about a subscriber requested topic on what are the most common things that brides are having done during the alteration process. Before we dive into this week's topic, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, drop me a comment below, let me know if there's a particular video topic you'd like me to create a video on. I am here for you, guiding you along the way, leading up to your special day. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. I am so honored that you found me. I am, of course, a wedding fashion expert, stylist, buyer, and wear many different hats at Lavella Bridal, located in Los Angeles, California. For daily content, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Lavella Bridal, at Lavella Plus, and at Wedding Fashion Expert. Don't forget to hit the follow button on TikTok at Lavella Bridal and at Wedding Fashion Expert as well. As I mentioned, this video was requested by a subscriber. Thank you so much for commenting and creating this topic for a video for not only for yourself, but everybody else, because I'm sure other people are so interested in this as well. The most common things that almost every single bride who gets a wedding dress needs in alterations. I mean, it is so rare to not need these things. So the most common is going to be body work, where the body has to be done, whether it's being taken in or being slightly let out, depending on the dress and your body. Sometimes it needs to be let out a little bit. We do have brides who gain weight, or even it just comes a little bit too snug where we just want to relax the fabric, especially if it is a clean satin silk dress. Sometimes if it's a little too tight, it pulls and you can kind of see the ripples in the material. So sometimes we need to let it out. Also, for my brides who are working out, while you might lose some weight, a lot of our brides actually gain weight from working out because they are gaining muscle. So especially in fitted dresses, I see it happen all the time. Brides will start working on their glutes to have a little more booty for their wedding day, and the dress gets really tight around their legs and booty. So I see that all the time. So whether you're taking it in or letting it out, there's always body work that needs to be done. So that's something that we see day in and day out. So the first thing is body work being done. And then a hem. It's very, very rare that a bride does not need a hem, which is shortening the length of the dress. Unless you are extremely tall, the dress might come perfect for you, or you actually need to order extra length, which at that point, when I do order extra length for my really tall girlies out there, I still do have to hem it because I order a little too long because I'm so worried about it being too short. And we can always play with extra material. It's very hard to create length or even to add and make a dress bigger when we don't have enough fabric inside to do so. Body work being done and a hem. The third most common thing that's done in alterations is a bustle. What is a bustle? A bustle is when we take the train and it gets pinned up. Oftentimes it is button and loops, or there are loops and ties that are underneath the train. So there's different ways of doing it. Each seamstress does it a little bit differently. I have seen seamstresses use a hook and an eye. I personally don't like the hook and eye because the hook can jump off of it and it doesn't lock in place very well. So I personally prefer buttons and loops over that. And then also the ties, if you don't double knot it, it can come undone. So you want to be mindful of those things as well. The fourth most common thing, which I would say the first three are no-brainers, they're going to happen. Those are the most common. And then the fourth would be bust pads being added in. A lot of our brides want a little bit more oomph or a little lift, or they have a smaller chest that they want to add volume to. So the fourth thing being bust cups. Now, the fifth most common, which like I mentioned, the top three are the top three, and then 4 and 5 are a little bit more elective things, is if you have a long sleeve, an off the shoulder of some kind, then those need to be fitted as well. So if you have a long sleeve, that always needs to typically be taken in, or we add an elastic at the top. If it's a sleeve that goes on and off like that, that's really common. Or if you did get a long sleeve dress or a dress with straps, that needs to be adjusted. So I would say that that's the 5th most common thing as well, but obviously not for every bride, because a lot of our brides aren't wearing a sleeve or a strap of any kind. Although I highly recommend, for any of my brides who are wearing a strapless dress, I recommend having a detachable strap done for your dress, because as you go throughout your evening, these dresses expand. So think of a pair of jeans you put on in the morning, they're nice and snug. As you go throughout your day, it does expand and they become big on you, and I always want to throw them back in the dryer and shrink them back down. Your dress is the exact same thing. So when you see brides pulling up their dress at their reception, it's not because the alterations department didn't do their job right, it's because the gown expanded on her body. Or the latest thing I've been seeing is dresses being too big on brides at the last minute because they're on a GLP-1. So be very careful with that. Make sure to stabilize where you're at once your final fitting is done, because I have seen the weight shift. It's so drastic and so quick that we wouldn't have enough time to re-alter it before a week before your wedding or 2 days before your wedding, right? So be really cautious about that as well. So I do recommend have a backup detachable strap to be able to hold up the dress if you do feel like it's starting to slip. Another great solution is if you have a corset back, then you can just tighten and loosen it as you feel needed throughout the day. And I will say, for brides who have a corset back, oftentimes those dresses may not need to be taken in. The one thing that would still need to be done is a little pinch at the bust, because even though you lace it up from behind, sometimes the front of the dress still sticks up, so it needs to be settled down onto your skin, and so that still needs work. So even a corset back does not guarantee that you're not going to have any work done to the bodice. So those are the most common things done in alterations, and typically that usually ranges for the body, hem, and bustle, the top 3 likely guaranteed things that you'll need, because these gowns need to be altered to you. They are not like the ready-to-wear clothing that we wear day in and day out that conform to our bodies and stretch and have elasticity to it, right? These are constructed dresses that have boning and structure, and it needs to be tailored specifically to you. I would tell you to invest anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 for alterations, depending on the market, depending on your dress, and just depending on the cost of labor in that area. So the cost of alterations varies based on state to state, country to country, based on how much that individual is getting paid. And keep in mind, your seamstresses are as good as they charge. So the quality of the work really does depend on how much you spend. Think about something. If you were in the service industry, are you going to work really, really hard for nominal money on the dollar? Like you're not, right? You want to feel good about what you're compensated for the work that you're going to do for others. And that's when people do their best work. So I don't encourage you to cut corners on this. This is the final step that makes or breaks your dress. Your dress could be the most beautiful dress, but until it is altered properly, and it doesn't matter how much you spent on the dress. It really doesn't. That does not change what you're paying for alterations, okay? So keep that in mind. You get what you pay for. I had a bride who took her dress somewhere else, and she called us and she asked if there was a way that we could reattach the train to her dress because the seamstress cut the train off. So I am a big believer in being economical, saving money where you can, but this is not the area to do it, okay? I spoke about it in last week's video about investing in your hair, your makeup, your photography, your videography, and your dress. That includes the alterations, because at the end of the day, what you have left of your wedding day are the memories that you created, the photos and the video of all your loved ones that lasts a lifetime. So you have to look your best. Not to add more pressure on that, but who you hire to execute these tasks is going to make or break the entire experience. You want to like and trust who you're working with, and also make sure that their quality of work is going to be of such a beautiful standard that you feel so comfortable and at ease with them. Last but certainly not least, I want to reassure you, because I have been doing so many alterations, it is wedding season right now, my brides cannot believe the transformation from the first fitting to the second fitting. What you see at the first fitting is nowhere near the finished product. So be patient, express your wants, needs, and your concerns, and then be patient to the second fitting. And do not stare and analyze and zoom in on photos from the first fitting, because that is not how it's going to be looking in the final version. The second fitting, it completely transforms it. It's insane. And even from the second fitting to the third fitting, even more of a transformation, because sometimes the second fitting, there's still things that need to be done, a little bit tweaks here and there, and the third fitting solidifies everything. So it's worth the wait, I promise. Don't panic. It's part of the process and it's going to be so worth it. And as you get closer to the wedding, you're going to feel stressed. You're going to have analysis paralysis, the whole 9 yards. Trust me, it's all going to work out beautifully. Trust the process so long as you have hired the right people, that you can shift your stresses onto them and know that they're gonna have it taken care of for you. I hope that you found this video helpful. For more videos and tips like these, be sure to tune in every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I will see you in next week's video.